What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here, back for another PTCGO gameplay for the new Burning Shadow set. Gonna be playing my Gardevoir GX deck. Super stoked about this deck right now. This is, Worlds format. Looks like I'm playing against Condor 97. This is Worlds format, so, like I said, rotation hasn't happened yet and won't be happening until after Worlds. So as it is right now, standard format on PTCGO is going to include Versus Seeker and all the Hex Maniac and all these cool cards that are getting rotated at the end of the season. And this is cool for me because I get to test for World Championships. Cool for you guys. You all get to watch me and kind of take this trip with me while I do some testing for the World Championships. Hopefully get a little glimpse of things to come in the upcoming month. At the Anaheim Open World Championships. Now we have got ourselves quite a bad matchup here. Gardevoir does not do very well against Greninja BREAK. So also looks like your opponent has no basic Pokemon. Drew in hand. Would you like to draw a card? Not to rest. Yes. Yes to rest. Yes. Your opponent has no. Yes. All right. Cool. I've never seen it worded like that. All right. It looks like we were able to kind of buff out of that a little bit. We're going to want to try and get a as fast Gardevoir as we can. We just want a really quick Gardevoir. That would be ideal. So let's go ahead and Ultra Ball away. We can get that Sycamore out of there and a Float Stone. That's fine. And then what we're going to try and do is get a Lele and go for the Bridget, if the Bridget is in our deck, which she is. So that's good. So we can do Lele, and we can Wonder Tag, grab that Bridget, and we are just going to get all of our starters so that hopefully we can start going in early. So I am going to grab Bridget. Where is she? Saw her back here. Well, now she's up here. Bridget. There you are. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Bridget. We do have Acerola. That should help our cause maybe a little bit in this matchup, but at the end of the day, Greninja can just pile on that damage. It's really tough, really, really hard to deal with. So I think I will start out by, I don't know. Do I want to go Diancie here? Diancie is going to speed things up. So I think I do want to just retreat into that Diancie right away and then attach the Fairy Energy. So next turn, and you guys are going to be able to see just the power of Diancie here. Next turn, I'm going to double evolve into my Kirlias, and then we'll be able to Sparkling Wish to evolve one of my Kirlia directly up into a Gardevoir. So we're going to be looking at a turn 3 Gardevoir here, which is, not the best, but it is pretty cool. We're fine with that. Could have gotten a turn 2 Gardevoir. It looks like we did top deck that rare candy, but that's just not the play we're going. A little unfortunate that we top decked that right there, but we're going to have to sack it because we're just going to Sycamore this hand and go from there. So, all right, looks like we drew into a decent hand. I'm going to start stacking up energy on my Gardevoir, on my Kirlia, so when I evolve it into Gardevoir, I'll be ready to go. So we're going to Sparkling Wish, get that nice, pretty full art Gardevoir that I pulled. It was actually really tough to get my hands on all these Gardevoirs. I mean, this is like the second day, third day maybe, that Burning Shadows has been legal. I opened like 100 packs on PTCGO and only got one Gardevoir. So that was really tough to deal with and had to trade for the rest of mine. Because my opponent's going to dive in here with that Water Duplicates. And they didn't prize any Froakie. I was kind of hoping that maybe they would prize a Froakie, help me out a little bit, but of course that is not what happened. So looks like now I'm gonna be diving in with Gardevoir. We're just gonna try and get in here and get this train moving as fast as we can. So we got that. Looks like my opponent does have a Splash Energy on their Frogadier. I don't like that because they're just gonna be able to keep it. I could Sycamore, I could Guzma and hit one of these benched Frogadiers because that way they don't get to use Splash Energy to kind of just bring their whole line back down. I'm fine with that. And then I have the Hex Maniac here as well, but I kind of want to just get as much energy on the board as possible. I don't really mind too much hitting into the active. So let's just go ahead and do that. I think I am just going to Sycamore So let's grab the Sycamore. There's nothing to Field Blower away. I'll send that Hexmaniac to the discard pile, so hopefully we'll get to pull that off a couple times here in the future. Let's see. I'd like to set up a backup Gardevoir, so here we go. We do get that backup Gardevoir. I've accelerated one time. I've attached. Let's see, we can accelerate again. Let's just accelerate that right to, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12. Let's just accelerate it to our benched one. That way we kind of diversify our resources a little bit. There's really no point in putting the Sudowoodo down. I don't anticipate that my opponent is going to be benching too much more than what they already got out. So let's just Infinite Force and go from there. Hopefully, you know, we can kind of just outrun my opponent. This is what the name of the game is going to be. But things are going to get really ugly here really fast, because as soon as they start evolving up to Greninjas, you can see they have a very stable setup so far. So long as they just draw into some Greninjas and some water energies, they're going to be using that Moonlight Slash for just a ton of damage. They can even Shadow Stitch. I mean, with that Choice Band, he's going to be able to Shadow Stitch for like, oh, and he's going to Ace Trainer me. I don't even have my Oranguru out. But this is, you know, this is some of the reason why you don't bench the Sudowoodo in a situation like this. You know, I can use a Tapu Lele to bail me out of this if I get an Ultra Ball. So see, we drew the Ultra Ball here. Now we have an option to go for Tapu Lele to continue drawing, or I could go for my Oranguru. That may end up being a good play as well. Fortunately, my opponent, hopefully they're only able to get 2 Greninjas here, not a third one. If they get 3 Greninjas, I mean, we might as well just, like, you know, might as well just call it quits here. Now, my opponent did Shadow Stitch me. They understood that, you know, maybe I'd use abilities to draw out of this hand. Good call by my opponent. 3, 6, 9, 12. They are just going to sack this Greninja, though. And I don't need to attach an energy to my active, so that's pretty good. We're probably just gonna roll with that. We could retreat. I'm not doing that. And you could retreat, and you can Sparkling Wish with the Diancie. We are not going to do that, though. So let's just keep our hand here. Keep my opponent trying to guess what it is that I got in my hand, and just use Infinite Force, take another prize. Fortunately, we did get a double colorless there. That means that I'm going to be doing probably enough damage to knock out, let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So if they don't knock out this Gardevoir here in the active this turn, which I suspect that they're probably just going to be able to knock it out. But if they don't knock it out, maybe they don't get everything they need, then I will be able to knock out a clean Greninja Break there with that double colorless energy. That'd be fantastic. This matchup is pretty bad. I was trying out the Giratina promo in this deck to try and pad this matchup a little bit. Hopefully my opponent doesn't hit the water energy. Hopefully they don't hit the Choice Band. They need both in order to knock me out. They got the water. They get the Choice Band. All right, they're going to Shadow Stitch again. So they did not knock me out. Unfortunately, though, oh, I got an Acerola. Okay, so we can lift this thing up and poke him with a new Gardevoir. And that's about all we're going to get going. Okay, so let's Acerola. Let's get this thing up out of there. Yup. Gonna want to do that. Gonna put the Tapu Lele out. I could hit it with the Tapu Lele and then retreat and try to clean it up with the Gardevoir. I don't mind that too much, but my opponent probably is going to be able to knock out that in one hit. I don't like that very much. I'm going to put that Ralts right back down where it came from. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. I'm 20 short of knocking it out with my bench Gardevoir. That's frustrating. So, you know, where do I go from here? I don't think that my opponent will be able to Shadow Stitch me and knock me out with Tapu Lele next turn. I think I like going in with Tapu Lele just because it kind of spreads things out a little bit and makes my opponent, you know, my opponent would love for me to just go in with another Gardevoir so they can just rack up huge damage on it. So I'm going to try and make it a little harder for my opponent to do that. And just going to poke them with this Tapu Lele. So maybe my opponent plays Max Potion. I don't know. They don't seem to play Talonflame. So they probably have, they're going to Ace Trainer me again. Oh no, not the Ace Trainers. Oh, where is my Oranguru? But Hopefully my opponent does not play Max Potion. I've seen here that, let's see, they did get the giant water shuriken. That's annoying. Goodbye, Ralts. If I can keep this 60 damage here, that'd be fantastic. Also, if they don't Shadow Stitch me here, I wonder if they will Shadow Stitch me. I don't know. They are going to Shadow Stitch me. So they're going to try and keep this lock running while he builds up breaks. It's very smart of my opponent. 3, 6, 9, 12. I can knock them out with this bench Gardevoir, though. Going to try and put some pressure on and do that. I don't know. I mean, do I bench the Ralts? I think I do bench the Ralts just because that way, if my opponent doesn't Shuriken it one turn, I'm going to be able to finally evolve up another one. And I don't really mind losing a prize here if it means that I don't have to put more damage. You know, they don't put more damage on my Gardevoir. So we're moving along here at a steady clip. My opponent has continued to Shadow Stitch me, but at the cost of them not actually doing all that much damage. Now, if they can put significant amount of damage onto this Gardevoir, then things are looking a little ugly. I would really have to draw well to get out of that. Them being able to snipe my Ralts that last turn really hurt. They might be running low on like energy and stuff at this point. I don't know. They haven't super routed any back in. They do have 6 in the discard, 7 in the discard with that giant water shuriken. So at this point, they have to be running low on energy. There's no way that they have just tons of energy left in their deck. And they used a Sycamore. So they got probably the last energy in their deck, I think. You know, most decks, maybe we have 1 more water. It looks like they're playing 3 splash energy. Maybe they play, you know, 6, 7, 8 waters. And maybe these decks play 8 waters, you know, but we're running a little low on energy. I was surprised they were able to draw out that well. So let's see. He did Shadow Stitching me, I believe. Did he Shadow Stitch me? No, he hit me for 60 and then hit me for 40. He did Shadow Stitch me. Okay, so I'm stuck here. And I can't do much. I can evolve my Kirlia. That's good. I don't think there's too much out. 3, 6, 9, 12. I could hit for 120 onto this Greninja Break. Or I could Lysander and take out a Frogadier. That's not bad. That brings me down to 2 prizes, but oh, geez, I don't really love that. Let's see. Or I hit into this break, 3, 6, 9, 12, but then what if they Max Potion? You know, I gotta figure that they probably play some sort of Max Potion. But I'm not gonna be able to build up something that can one-hit knock out this Greninja Break. So I think I do need to just apply some pressure, put some damage on it, because if they struggle to find their energy at the end of the game here, then I will at least like put some pressure on the guy who does have energy on him. So I'm gonna go and stay the course and hope that he doesn't get enough energy to Shuriken me and attack with this one. You know, that would be pretty tough for my opponent to pull off. And also, they're not gonna knock me out if they, you know, if they Shadow Stitch again, you know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to get knocked out. So, gotta imagine my opponent's got 6 cards left in deck. I don't know how many of them are energy. My opponent has not hit a Super Rod yet, anything like that. They got a Rescue Stretcher so they can bring a Pokemon back from the discard pile. But and they're going to shuffle 3 into the deck. I don't know what their energy situation is, though. So, hopefully they whiffed everything. They have no energy in their deck. That's what we want. They're going to go an Ultra Ball. Let's see, because if they whiffed an energy, then all they can do, you know, I imagine that they're going to try and just Shadow Stitch me again, which only does 40 damage. That's great for me. I could take a knockout. Oh, they did hit an energy. Oh, no. Okay. So now, I wonder if they Shadow Stitch or if they take the knockout. Oh my gosh, they got all the... Man, they're just hitting everything they need. That is unbelievable. All right. Well, you know, when Greninja runs hot, there's not too much you can do. Looks like my opponent didn't prize like any of their waters. So, good for them. Let's see here. 2, 4, 6. I can knock them out with this Tapu Lele. I can knock out that benched Greninja with my Tapu Lele. That's pretty cool. I do have to Ultra Ball away this Fairy Energy. I don't like that, but let's just do it. It's Ultra Ball. Can we get Oranguru. Here he is. This is what he's here for. Do your thing, Oranguru. We're going to Lysander up this one. Oranguru. Let's instruct. Show him how it's done. Okay. So we do get another Ralts. I don't think we want to play Ralts down just because it would be another simple prize for my opponent to take. Let's just energy drive, take this knockout. Hopefully my opponent is running low on energy. Now, you know, finally that they've gotten to this point in the game, hopefully they cannot whip up the knockout here. They would need to pull off a Water Shuriken and a Moonlight Slash. I know, and here's the Fisherman. So they finally were able to get their Fisherman play. This should pretty much shore up the game for them. They can Moonlight Slash 2 times, or Water Shuriken 2 times, and then just take me out from there. So they're good to go. They pretty much got this one in the bag. Had to hope that maybe that Fisherman was prized or something, and that there was just no way for them to pull out of it. But you know, taking out that Curlia means I'm not going to have any Guardies for the rest of the game. I can't put this Ralts down. It's going to get Shurikened. And that's a wrap, boys and girls and ladies and gentlemen. Because Shadow Stitch, oh yeah, just take this one home. So pretty much just gonna energy drive here. I could Acerola or something, but you know, it's where am I going? You know, I can't take my last prizes. I could Hex Maniac, you know, but it's just, this is a wrap. Game's over. So we're gonna throw in the towel. Just let my opponent have it. This is a bad matchup, like I said. I've tried playing that Giratina promo in here. Now, some Greninja Break decks do play that Silent Lab Stadium, which would just shut off Giratina promo anyway. And I was having a hard time beating Greninja Break with Gardevoir, even with the Giratina promo in it. So, you know, tough matchup. Can't win them all. Thank you all for watching. Let me know what you guys think of the new Burning Shadows decks. You know, decks that you want to see me play on PTCGO. Thank you all for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace.